made Kool-Aid before? Yeah. Brother Mike, if I get 2 quarts of water, and it tells me that this Kool-Aid needs 2 cups of sugar and 1 pack of Kool-Aid. I dump it all in there, mix it up. I now have Kool-Aid. Okay? Now, some of y'all saying 2 cups ain't enough. That's because you make that ghetto Kool-Aid. With 4, you make syrup that you have to pour out of the cup. But in essence, I have just made Kool-Aid. I can't expect the water to stay clear by faith. Right. When I put the contents in the pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay, in other words, I can't play it. It is what it is now. Look at them say it is what it is now. It's time for us to deal with it. And part of taking care of your kingdom, y'all, is understanding that you got to deal with what you got.
Amen.
Y'all remember the message I preached called "Play Your Hand"? Getting a lot of internet craze on that message. And people sending me little messages back saying, "I like that sermon where you talk about playing your hand, but I just don't believe God." Had one guy, he was wanting to philosophically correct me on one of the things that one of my addendum points that I brought out in my message, Sister Frida. He wanted to tell me that he didn't feel like things should stay that way, that if we have enough faith, then things are going to change regardless of whether we want them to or not. And you know what I told him? I said, "You're exactly right. Things will change, but I guarantee you they will not change the way you designed them to change if you don't do anything about it." Faith will only get you so far. Without faith, it's impossible for God to even hear you. But faith without works is dead, y'all. Now, we are where we are. Men, sisters, we are where we are. Now, how are we going to deal with where we are? You can't let a sleeping giant come and take over your kingdom. Some of us wake up the next morning not knowing what we did the last night. Mm-hmm. I like those movies where people wake up and look at each other and jump up and holler in the bed together. Y'all ever seen that? That is so funny to me. That lets me know that we were influenced by so many other things the other night that we didn't care who we laid down with. But now all of a sudden it's a shock treatment when we see what we woke up with. That's set on you. And wait for it. Wait for it. Because people change. Okay, people change. Things change. And what you thought you had at the beginning might not be what you got now.
Amen.
But guess what? As part of your kingdom, you got to deal with it. All right? I got a couple more points that I need to bring out real quick. In order for a wall to be correct, it has to be built correctly. Come on. In order for a wall to be correct, it has to. Now, they got what they call these permanent walls. Anybody know anything about construction? You'll know that they got permanent walls and they got temporary walls. What's the difference between a permanent wall and a temporary wall? A permanent wall is meant to hold the load. But a temporary wall, you can tear it down anytime. Now, the one thing about temporary wall, it doesn't have as many studs in it because it's not bearing that much weight. Come on. All walls look the same, but you can tell a permanent wall from a temporary wall by how much weight it holds. I'll say it on this side. All walls look the same, but you can tell a permanent wall from a temporary wall by how much weight it holds.
Amen.
And in this society today, brothers, I'm sorry, but I got to say it. In this society today, you have a whole lot of brothers who look permanent.
Yeah.
But they're temporary.
Yeah.
Can't hold the load, can't hold their own load.
Yeah.
But they go try to get families and try to hold the load of a family. And now all of a sudden you're acting like a monkey when you're supposed to be a man. Come on. Okay. Listen there and say, you can't stand the heat. Why you go in the kitchen?
Yeah.
You in there sitting there sweating by herself and you want to jump in the kitchen with her. You done messed up all the food. Come on.
Say that.
You in the kitchen stirring up stuff. She dealing with the heat. But all of a sudden you want to be part of the kitchen. So now all of a sudden, baby, why you got it so hot in here? Baby, why you doing this? Why you got the oven on and ain't nothing in? And she's still trying to cook, but you in the way. Right. Women don't need temporary walls, man. They need permanent walls.
Amen.
Yeah.
I have never seen so many squeamish men in my life. Men more concerned about their feelings now. You hurt me. What you said hurt me. I'm trying to be cheap about it. I'm trying to be cheap. You hurt me. You ain't about to say that like you said. And I'm watching a generation of children grow up looking at unstable men. And now the children have now become unstable.
Yeah. Amen.
Y'all ain't gonna say amen? Young men who don't even know who they are. Who look at Lil Wayne and think that that's where it's supposed to be. Lil Wayne is the ugliest rapper I have seen in a long time. He ain't got more money than me, and I ain't jealous of the money because I got Jesus. I don't know whether he got him or not. I hope he got him. I don't know. I ain't judging. But the thing about it is, unstable. Okay. Gotta be built the right way. Look at your neighbor side. You built for success.
Are you built for success?
See, the one thing about a permanent wall is, Brother Dawes, you got to move the whole house if you take a permanent wall down.
That's it.
See, these temporary walls, you can build a temporary wall anywhere. Sister, stay with me. See, you can put a temporary wall up anyway. Temporary walls serve the purpose.
Yep.
Temporary walls hide stuff. Temporary walls keep secrets.
Yep.
Permanent walls don't change. Okay. All right. Verse number three. Another thing verse 28 tells us is that a wall must be consistent. Here's the thing about consistency that people don't like. See, inconsistency breeds failure. If I understand what failure comes from, my failure comes from being inconsistent. Another thing that my failure comes from is being procrastinating. See, we're guilty of putting stuff off that we need to deal with. Amen? Amen. And the one thing about consistency is, I'm not crazy. Here's the thing about crazy folk. Y'all don't like this part. See, one thing I learned when I was driving the buses, I used to drive the special needs kids. Say special needs.
Special needs.
Nothing wrong with special needs. They're precious people. Love all of them. But the one thing they don't like is change.